G'day guys, Anthony for you for Adventures. We're heading up Big River Road. Bit of an adventure, a little bit rough, it's not too bad. It's weekdays, so it's pretty quiet on the roads, which is awesome. We're going to head up to Mount Terrible, but we're going to do it a different way to what we've normally done it. So you can obviously go up Newman's Track, the main one, or Mount Terrible Track from the other side. You can go up Big River Road. See, look at all the information you get here. And you can cut through on Danesford and Newman's if you go up Big River Road. But what we're going to do this time, I'm not sure if it's going to work out like many other things. We're going to continue along Big River Road and eventually we'll come to Donald Track. I believe Donald Track's alright, and it's got some steep rough bits in it, so it could be a bit challenging, a bit of fun, we don't know, but we're about to find out. So that's where we're headed. Just to give you a recap, there's a bit of a track on the left there, it's a bit crazy, getting up there, making tracks. But if anybody wants to get out and they're sort of new to four-wheel driving, and they've been out and had a few little day trips and they want to go next level and they want to get to some steep hills, I'm going to give you a track that it's got quite a lot of, you know, steep ups and downs, but it's really safe. That's what I thought of it, because, you know, there's a lot of these steep tracks that they're washed out, they're rough, they're this, so for inexperienced people it can be a bit dangerous. So if you get out on one of these tracks that I believe, I could be wrong, so, you know, disclaimer, you know, don't go full driving at all if you're going to blame me if you hurt yourself or your vehicle or something like that. And that's best case scenario, you know, you could end up in serious injury and death. I'm not telling you to go full driving, I'm just saying that at the moment Gillets Track, which comes down, I think it's like the second last track that comes out of the bush if you're on the Eildon Jamieson road headed toward Big River, you know, the road we're headed up at the moment. Yeah, Gillets Track, so head up there, and when you get to the other end just turn around and come back. It'll probably take you half an hour each way. Some nice steep tracks, nice and wide, really clear, and happy days. We've got some campsites down here, Big River. Alright, so we head up the Big River Road, we turn left into Donald Track, which hopefully will take us up to Mount Terrible. Well, it does, it's just a matter of how rough. Everybody's interpretation of tracks is different, so we'll see what happens. This one started off certainly looking very steep at the start, but it's got some exclamation marks on one map system at the start and the end, and if this is the start and this is the explanation, maybe it just means it's a bit steep or a bit steeper than usual, because it's certainly not rough. It's steep, but with the right grippy tyres and the right pressures, it is no trouble for a Toyota Prado to drive up. So we'll continue doing that and I'll let you know how we go. Mate, this bit of the track is steep, like that's steep there. You had to see it, you know, videos never show you, but mate, right here, this is steep as. And you can see it's a flat track, and I promise you, I'm scrabbling for traction. All the wheels I can feel are spinning a little bit. This is, like, I'm not saying it's the hardest track, but that is one of the steepest tracks I've come across right there. I didn't think they made them that steep anymore. So every bit the vehicle bounces a little bit. There's a little bit of wheel spin. Unbelievable. That was cool. So when that gets chopped up, luckily it's been graded recently. You can see it's been used a little bit, but it's starting to flatten off now back to about 30 degrees. Back there, I'm thinking, you know, 35, you know, I mean a steep track's about 30. 35 is very steep, yeah. Even the guys on the radio were saying very steep. When you're looking at the sky most of the time, you know it's steep. Just basically this drive, so I just want to be clear. If you haven't got experience, stick to going up and down Gillets Track. That's in 2021, early 22. As long as there's no rain, because it can get messy real quick. At the moment, in November, December 21, I'd say it's very safe. This track here, Donald, it's in good condition at the moment. This part's quite rocky, so it's alright, but it's very steep and loose in some places. You need to have a bit of experience, make sure your tyres are head down, and have your full drive plan B, C's and D's in places if A doesn't work out. It's basically a drive along the ridge, that's what we're doing now, but most of the way it climbs as it goes along the ridge. So at the moment we're cruising along, quite not flat, but it's a slight incline. Going down at the moment for a moment. I can see the Mount Terrible Fire Tower over the left side there, over about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So we're basically following the mountain up along the end of the ridge and around. And I think there could be more fun yet to come. As I said, there's been a number of places where it's really steep. It's in really good condition at the moment, but if you see this video, don't go, oh, you know, Donald, let's go, Donald. Unless you, look, if you like a nice drive and you can handle it, then absolutely, you know, that's the go, mate. Get those photos. So yeah, there's a few photos happening up here, but just want to make everyone be aware, this is rated on the, you know, it's not an extreme track, but it's at the difficult side of things. It's not easy, it's not medium. So just here, we're just going to get over, these are just small rocks, but we're just going to crawl over them. We really need to keep the car pointing straight up the hill. There's been some tradies go up here with their tradie utes. How do I know? Because I can see all their tools and stuff on the side of the track just there as I went past. That's how steep it is. That's how some people approach tracks with speed, and half your gear ends up flying out the side. Mate, you know the amount of things that I've sold on eBay years ago that we used to pick up off the tracks and stick it on eBay? We don't bother anymore, but you know, everything from even the mat at the bottom of the ute, I don't know if it all jumps out or the tailgate comes open, it all slides out. The mat and everything else that was on it, and no sign of a vehicle anywhere. So obviously we pick it up and whatever, you know what I mean? Who wants this, that? If we clean up the track, owners keepers, so make sure you get the right suspension, the right tyre pressure, get a bit of experience before you come up tracks like this. This is steeper than Billy Goats, okay? Billy Goats isn't a steep track. It's got a few steep parts, it's got some rough sections. This is smoother than Billy Goats, depending on when they were both graded, but typically when you go up Billy Goats, it would be rougher than this usually, but not as steep. What I'm trying to say is, this track here, it's actually the first time I've driven up it, so I can't tell you too much about it, because it's not one of the tracks I've been on 10 times or something like that. So, Donald Track, very steep, nice scenic drive along the top of the ridge. Hope you're enjoying the view and the added information and commentary. If you are, hit the like. Oh, we got oncoming vehicles, have a look at this. Rightio, a couple of young fellas, the P-platers in the utes, headed down the hill. All good. Just probably getting past the other guys, but if they in those Mitsubishi utes, kind of tells you that there's no issue. But then again, they are using gravity coming down. So anyway, if the track gets any more than what I've described, difficult level, anything gets worse, I'll let you know. If there's any really specifically exciting parts, I mean, currently I'm like an astronaut, feel like I'm laid back in a chair, you know, we're just pointing up at the sky a bit. Again, video never shows you how steep it is. And it's just one of those rocky tracks, and we don't need to fly up and down tracks, you know. You just take it easy. Sometimes you do. It's one of those clay specials. Here we are, arriving at the Mount Terrible Hut Scope. There you go. And there is another Isuzu here. Happy days. We'll go check out this hut. Show you a couple of photos like usual, and then
So go right up.
This is inside. One of the probably best huts, because it's been sort of recently rebuilt. I think we've shown you this and talked about this in other videos. Right, but someone had to bust the window, didn't they? I mean, you know, what are people thinking? There's some information for you if you want to have a read. 2016, I said kind of recently, right? Because people keep wrecking things. I don't know what's the matter with people. Alright, here we go. I reckon we've talked about this one before. So we've headed down from Mount Terrible, down the Mount Terrible track on the north side, following the main track, and then about halfway down we turn right onto Paletti. This is Paletti. This is one of the steeper little bits here. Once again, like normal, the track's usually in good condition. Up this end it's a bit steep and rocky, but there's plenty of exactly that rock and that sort of and by the looks of the trees down recently, but people have pushed off to the side. Pretty steep, so you know, you're sort of skidding down a little bit if you like. If you just leave it loose and risking it for the biscuit, you know, you're sort of skidding down a bit. But look, right down the bottom, there's a little bit of a red clay sort of thing. When it's wet, it can get a bit slippery down there, but again, mainly just a bit of fun, nothing too treacherous that I've noticed. And that'll bring you down. Paletti brings you down to a nice little, as long as you like, you know, public group sized 2-wheel drive caravan and camper type camp areas, brings you down to Skipworth. Skipworth's quite a large camp area on the side of the river there. And that's the Goulburn River on the side of the Goulburn, alright, and of course it's the Goulburn upstream of Lake Eildon, so it hasn't run into Lake Eildon yet. So you've got the Goulburn that runs out of Eildon that you might have seen in one of our other videos, or you know, whatever the case may be. You've got plenty of videos showing you these places if you want to get to know places and track routes and that sort of thing. Check out our videos. We've probably even got them in playlists and stuff like that to make it a bit easier for you to find. And look, I'll take care to try and make sure I put these sort of trip videos that give you the names and the places, and because you might go, you know what, I'm not going there. That's like I said in one of the other videos, whatever you do, don't go on that track, don't go there, it'll cost you pins drop big time, right? So everybody needs to know about that one. But you might see a trip or a track and go, I like that, you know, I'd like to go there. So if we put those in the I think we've got like a trips playlist, trip routes or something like that it's called, so check out playlists. Anyway, this will bring us down to Skipworth, depending on the time of the day and how many people are there. If you want to, I think you just basically go right and then left, so it is turn right, it's sort of right in front of you, but to get to the entrance it's turn right out of Paletti onto the, we'll call it the highway, what's the road called, the Woods Point. What's that, Jamieson Woods Point Road, right? All these roads are pretty simple to remember, you just think what town's each way type thing. So yeah, you go right then left and into Skipworth. There's pit toilets there, it's on the river like I said, nice flat area, plenty of area there, obviously, unless it's full. There can be a lot of caravans there, because coming out of Jamieson headed south, the road is sealed to there and perhaps a little bit beyond there, I can't remember exactly, but it's sealed road so people can go up. Here you go, we're going to get too many caravans there now, but look, that's fair enough. So you can go up to Mansfield and then you can head south down to Jamieson on sealed road, and you can continue further south past Jamieson and it'll get you to Skipworth, which will be on your left, which is what we're talking about here. For us, we're going to probably just go down through Jamieson and we'll probably head out the back of Jamieson. I haven't decided yet, I'm making this up as I go. And there's some other campsites on some other riverbanks and stuff like that. Possibly let you know later in the video, but if you're liking the information so far, just hit the like button so then we know we're doing the right thing and giving you what you want to know about and what you want to see. Hope you're enjoying the scenery. Unfortunate, so I'm going to throw a can out there. This, you know, too often. But at least it's better than some of those trails we've seen in other areas, just trails of cans. Anyway, we're headed down. You can see what this one's like. It's mainly a downhill descent, pretty much what you've seen. So we just came down off Paletti and turned left onto the, what I'll call the highway, the blacktop, and just cruising towards Jamieson, enjoying the scenery. And how's the serenity? And this is the 8:30 PM finish off the video. We're camped by the side of the river. Top secret camp place here. Boys over there. Granny's Flat. Straight at the back of Jamieson on the Jamieson-Nicola Road. Can't miss the sign, but don't tell anyone, alright? Awesome spot. Nice green grass. Set up your bloody gear. Look at that, eh? Hope you enjoyed some of the information. Sun's gone down. Subscribe, turn the bell on. Hopefully we'll get some action happening on the tracks in a video, in one of the next videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya. And there is pit toilet down here.